Good morning. It's day 121. The shelter is empty and quiet. Yesterday, there were just hordes of young people screaming to be heard over each other. It's like being in a bar. But now it's quiet. I can show you everything. I slept up there. It's nice. There's 12 of these bunks. And a guy named Ronan slept there, and he snored louder than anybody we've ever heard before. For most of the early part of the night, anyway. And the interesting thing about the shelter is this. Big plexiglass roof and ceiling, and I was hoping there'd be some lightning yesterday, but there was none. I thought it'd be cool to see some flashes, but it's really nice because it lights up everything. And there's a huge table here so you can see everything. There's also garbage and windows, and the shelter is fully enclosed, so it's nice. Yeah, pretty nice. And there's all the pizzas everybody ordered. That's one day worth of pizza. Garbage, some water because the tap here isn't on. There's no water at the shelter. So Ronan actually bought 10 of these and brought them up for us. And other than that, that's it. We're gonna get going. We're the last ones out just because we have only just under 15 miles to hike, really. It's not too far. And then we'll go into Hamburg tomorrow. By the way, when they say rocky, this is kind of what they mean. Just rocks all over, so you don't have a steady rhythm going straight. You constantly have to adjust your steps. That slows you down. And you also have to really watch where you're putting your feet. Your feet are twisting side to side and stepping side to side. Just trying to avoid anything sharp or slippery. And every once in a while you get some nice areas. So it kind of balances out. Like this part, look how nice it is. Oh yeah, look at this. Super nice, easy trail, right? So today, it's an easy 14.9 mile or something like that. And then 0.3 miles more to the shelter area. And we're leaving around 8:30, a little before 8:30. We should get there probably like at 2 again, or something like that. I'm gonna stall myself. I know I have 15 miles, so I have plenty of time. So I can do whatever I need to. I do need to. I was working on a video yesterday. I need to work on it more and finish it so I can upload it as soon as we get good cell service in town. But pretty easy day. We have a water source about 5 miles, and then that's all the way down, and then we have to go all the way up. So it's gonna be I mean, it's not a big climb. It's only like 1,000 feet. So, and then after that, another 5 miles and we get water, and then we go to camp. So nothing more than 5 miles without water. So that's pretty good. Good for today. One big climb and a lot of basically walking along the ridge again. Same thing, just every day. A lot of ridge walking. Tomorrow we'll be going to Port Clinton, and there's supposedly I saw the elevation profile. There's a steep drop into Port Clinton. Must be just tall steps going all the way down, so that'll be fun. But we might meet Tony there again, or we might meet a viewer named Boo-Ray. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which of them will come pick us up. I think they'll both come pick us up and take us into Hamburg, but we'll see who we call. I was just wondering if on my laptop I use DaVinci Resolve to edit videos, and they have like red eye reduction. They have all these different filters and like skin softeners and everything. But I wonder if there's like an eye boogie remover filter. I guess most people don't have that problem. But anyway, yesterday I didn't realize we broke the 1,000 miles left barrier. So right now we are in triple digits to go. Pretty cool. And today we're gonna hit the 1,200 mile barrier soon here. So it's gonna be 1,200 coming up. Probably in a couple miles. I have to keep an eye out for it. I don't want to miss it since I missed the 1,100. So yeah, let's keep an eye out for it. But yeah, we have less than 1,000 miles to go now. There's another rocky portion, and I don't know if you can hear, but it is raining. It slowed down. It was raining pretty hard for a while there. It's actually quite refreshing. My left arm is nice and cool because it's always wet under the umbrella. I do believe this is the AT. I mean, it's rocky, so I assume this is where we should go. There it is, there's a blaze. The branches really conceal the blazes sometimes, but okay. We are not doing this for nothing. Okay, we gotta find some good footing because everything's slippery. But yeah, here's an example of a rocky section. I mean, we've kind of seen sections like this throughout the trail so far already. I guess these are just more common in Pennsylvania. But so far, they don't go on forever. They stop. And then it's a nice section of trail. Maybe I'm forgetting it. Like after I'm done with them, I just kind of forget about them and I think they're really short. But then they're longer than I thought. But I don't know. Thorny plant. Alright, white blaze. I guess we go right. More rocks up there. I won't show you everything so I can actually hike and not fall here. Here's your view for the day. The trees have really grown in, but and it's hazy. You can see some lakes though. It's pretty though with these rocks, right? Just strewn about, raindrops hitting the puddles. Just kind of slippery. And straight ahead we have, oh, not straight ahead. To the left is the trail. I would have gone straight ahead. Good thing I stopped to film, otherwise, yeah. Here's a cool new creature. I believe it's a slug. I'm hoping it's not a leech or something. I think it's a slug. It's not showing its antennas or anything. I've seen snails, but I haven't seen slugs yet. I heard the box turtles like to eat these. Shalimi. I think it likes me. His antennas came out, so he wanted me to know that he is a snail. I mean a slug. Here we come to a viewpoint. See the blazes on the right? Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, probably nicer in the winter when the leaves are all gone, but the rocks right in front are so nice and level, and you could just sit and stare. And off in the background, just mountains. You can see some of the low clouds because it's raining and fog out there. Yeah, some really low clouds out there. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love how when views are framed by trees like that, just in a circle. Hello. Sorry to have you so close to me, but it's raining, so I'm trying to keep it under because the windscreen will still absorb the water, although the GoPro is waterproof. So anyway, that was a landmark that I've been waiting for, not because it's a spectacular view or anything like that, but because it's the last noticeable landmark before the 1200 marker. So I think in the next 0.2 miles or something, there should be a 1200 sign of some type, rocks somewhere. So I'm just gonna keep looking around and look for the sign now. We're gonna go up, but that's how I like to do things. I like to look at the map, so you don't have to look at the phone all the time to see where you are. Just look for key landmarks, so they'll have like power lines, view, and I knew this view had a sharp turn in the trail, and that's what we're doing right now. And 1,200's coming up. Here it is, folks. Fortunately, it's like a nice little open area because in some parts of the trail, there's no area at all to make a sign like this. So it's nice flat area, and they were able to make a nice 1200 too. Very nice. And what was it, 900 something more to go? I forget the total miles anymore. I looked up the distance, so it's 2,194.3 this year total. So with 1200 marker, I have 994.3 to go. So 994 miles to go. Not bad. Not got another 11 for the rest of the day, and we'll have 988 to go. That's it, the countdown. Can't wait to the 100 countdown, right? I really like hiking with my umbrella, but sometimes it feels like this when you're hiking, looking around. And I just took the umbrella off because it stopped raining, and it's like, look at all that's around me. It's definitely nice not with an umbrella, although it's nice with an umbrella. It's just beautiful. Just surrounded by green. It's always a type of green, some kind of green. Some kind of green. Oh, now it's raining again. It's one of those days where it's gonna rain for a while and then the trees are gonna drip on you for a while. I just can't say enough how nice this green is. It's so quiet. All you hear are birds, raindrops slowly dripping off the trees. Okay, quickly sometimes. It's just green fields. Such a difference from that house, or the shelter I was at. It was so loud. I don't get it. Their hearing has to be better than ours. Mine for sure. Why do they have to talk so loudly? It's like constant fight to see who gets more attention. I just don't get it. So quiet. Here's another one of these little guys. He's got really orange spots on his back. Looks like he's gonna hide away. They're like little dinosaurs, except they're very tiny. They're all very camera shy. Aww. Okay, we're at the bottom of a dip and there's a great stream here, and I'm gonna rinse out my shirt because tomorrow morning or afternoon we're gonna get in someone's car and my shirt stinks. It's just, I'm so sticky underneath it. So I'm gonna rinse out my shirt and maybe use it to wipe my body down a little bit, just to help with some of the stink. It's pretty funny, up at the stream there, I was cleaning myself and I got my shirt on, got everything on, washed my face and my neck, and I was dripping wet with water, and then a girl came by and then she recognized me. We actually camped together at one point, but I guess her parents watched me, so she wanted to say hi. So here you go.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Finally met Jay Wanders Out.
Check out this water source. It appears to be a beaver dam on this side. No, it's not a beaver dam. It's a really nice concrete dam. There's like a swing here. You can go out there and swing in the water. Pretty cool. I think we're gonna go down near it, so let's go take a look. Let's safely get back to the trail and then go say hi to the swing. I mean the dam. I don't remember seeing this in anybody's videos before. Cool concrete dam. Another rope to swing on. And there's steps over there. Oh, we can't get real close because the angle right here. You wonder about these dams. How long is it going to last? Does anybody come and check the integrity? Because if it bursts, all of this is going to get flooded. It could be quite dangerous. If you just heard me say earlier, hey, I don't remember seeing this in anybody's vlogs, that's because it's not on the AT. We went this way and the trail looks so much like it's going to the right, but it actually veers to the left, and that looks much less like a trail. But if you go to the right, you go to the dam, and at least you get to go see something. It's only like 0.05, 0.06 miles down, but yeah. Hey, you got to see something that most AT hikers will never see if they actually stay on trail. So good. Aren't you happy you watch my videos now? Maybe that's why many of you watch the videos, because you know I'm gonna get lost and show you some part in the woods that nobody else has shown before. Not deliberately, mind you, but oh, we got a bunch of drunks behind us. Look at all these mountain laurels. They're still in that same like pseudo open condition. Some are open here and there, but most of them are just teasing us constantly. There's one set there with a bunch open. He thought he could hide. It seems up ahead is the old AT, but it's closed for environmental issues. I'm gonna have to look in far out to see what the issues are. It's very vague. Very vague. Well, I guess this is the way we go. As you can expect when it rains for several days on and off, the trail is really muddy. It's rocky and muddy or muddy. This part's actually not as bad. Kind of bad. If you step in the middle, you'll just sink. But sometimes it's nice to have the rocks because you can kind of rock hop over the mud. But it's so sporadic here. It's not working out. I remember in Arizona, I was cursing the rocks until it snowed and then melted, and then the mud was just horrible. And the rocks were awesome because you could just rock hop, but not so much here. At least this mud is not the cakey mud, so this mud's actually not super bad. Could be worse. I haven't seen one of these trees in a while with the big hook. I'm always curious how long they're gonna last before they get so heavy they break off the... I can't see a thing with the sun. There it goes. Is it alive? I think so. Are you sick of ferns yet? Back home in the suburbs of Chicago, you don't get forests of ferns like this. Just the floor covered with it, so it's still fascinating to me. And I love seeing how it like grew. And now it's just huge. These are smaller than the ones behind me, but it just covers everything. I remember the first time I saw something like that was in Michigan. It was like really tall ferns. But, oh, no more. No more ferns. For today, we only have about 2.5 to the turnoff to the shelter, which is another 0.3. But tomorrow, I've been planning it for like 9.5 or something, some short day. But I realized that the spot that people want to pick us up is at the parking lot, 0.8 before where I was thinking. So tomorrow's gonna be like a 8.6 mile day. Super narrow. I guess not super narrow. I've taken shorter narrows before, but it's gonna be a short one tomorrow. And fortunately, my shoes, I hope they're at the hotel because I don't know if these shoes are gonna last anymore. The front of the toes have completely come off, as worse as they were before I glued them, but the glue job held for, I don't know, over 200 miles on the right one. Actually pretty amazing. So I'm happy with it. It's okay if they fall apart in the next 12 miles. Just not yet. Just not yet. But they've been through a lot. And today with all the rocks and the mud, it's just been a rough time. We are at the eel's nest shelter campsite area. I guess the shelter is way over there. It's a really weird, wonky shelter. There's a bunch of people there now. We are in the tent area, and the tent area is huge. There's like a maze of little trails you can go. There's Lazarus' tent way over there. I set mine up right here. I mean, it's kind of in the way, but I kept it to the side as much as possible, so it should be fine. Should be fine. Oh yeah, I forgot to close the bug screen all the way. I close it mostly, but with one hand, there's only so much you can do sometimes. It's like, come on, come on, come on, come on. You gotta use both hands. Hey there, as you can see, I'm inside my tent. What do you think of the new chamois? It's my color. It's definitely way lighter than the other one. I just wrapped it around my neck because I'm gonna put it over my head so I can, basically the gist is I try not to get my pillow and my sleeping pad too gross by covering my head and all the greasiness that's with the oil hair after this is the 4th night out with no hair washing. Yeah, so it's been 4 days. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna just lay back and get to work right now. I gotta do a bunch of things tonight before I go to sleep, so when we go to town tomorrow I can start uploading right away. But tomorrow is, I thought it was gonna be like 9.4, but it's gonna be like 8.6, and we are going to Port Clinton, and then we are meeting up with Random Adventures 2.0, and he's gonna drive us down to Hamburg, and we have a hotel there. So Lazarus and I are gonna share the hotel, and both's gonna sit there and edit videos. We're a partying duo here. And then Tuesday we're gonna come back up. Another viewer is gonna drive us up back to where we got picked up. So for now, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed all the videos of the rocks and stuff. Rocks and mud as most of the day. And thank you for watching. You all take care, and you have a good night. Bye.